Hi, what are we looking at here today? We're looking at a 2014 Honda CB1100 in black, which I am selling. I've owned the bike since June 2018. It is now October 2019, and when I bought the bike it had about 1,000 miles on it. Now it has about 13,000, maybe 200 miles on it. I'm currently riding it once a week for about 20 or 30 miles just to keep all the fluids nice and circulated and make sure it doesn't degrade from sitting around doing nothing. I don't want the bike to get bored, so I want to do a little walk around video, show you what I have here. The bike is located in North Texas. It recently passed a safety inspection. Currently the registration is up at the end of the month. Hoping to sell the bike before then, so I don't have to renew the registration, which is about $58 here in Texas. But if I have to do that, no problem. That way I can keep riding the bike once a week, keep it nice and healthy. So in the course of a year I put about 13 or 12,000 miles on the bike, mostly on vacations. I've taken it on trips to Arkansas, Missouri, Texas Hill Country, Oklahoma. I've done overnight trips on it. I've done a 2-week trip on it. I've done a 10-day trip on it. Most of the times I'm taking on farm to market roads, country roads. Don't really like going on the highway on the interstates. That gets a little crowded, it gets a little dirty. So it's sort of a back road cruiser. See if I can get you some low angles here. I've cleaned the bike up a little bit. I don't go too crazy down here. We get a lot of dirt and bugs from the front wheel, and I know there's a lot of YouTube videos that show you how to shine up your headers, make it all nice and shiny. I don't want to risk damaging the finish. If you buy the bike, you want to do that, you can do that. But it's sort of this bike gets out on the road and it gets ridden, and it's going to get dirty. I really recommend engine guards for a bike like this. This is the 2014, which means it has a 6-speed transmission. The 2013 models had a 5-speed transmission. I'll be taking this off when I sell the bike. This is for a heated jacket liner. I'll be leaving this on. This is for a battery tender. I keep it on a battery tender to keep the battery nice and healthy. I clean the chain about every 600 miles. I use a chain wax, which I'll be showing you later when I show you the accessories. It's really easy with this bike. You take these 2 bolts off, remove this guard. The center stand makes working on the bike very easy. Put it up on the center stand, put some cardboard underneath, cut a little piece of cardboard in here to cover the wheel, and I use either WD-40 or kerosene to clean the chain. Use a little chain brush, clean it up, dry it off, and then put some fresh wax on it, and it keeps the chain nice and pretty. The tires are fairly new. In fact, they're got less than 200 miles on them. These are Michelin radials. Can't quite read the brand here, but I'll have it listed in any ad that it's running in. I have it listed for sale on eBay, on Craigslist in the Dallas-Fort area, on Facebook, on the CB1100 forum. and on next door in my neighborhood. See this rack? This is a very expensive Hepco and Becker rack from Germany. It's even got some German on the side here. It tells you all the weight limits and things like that. I'll also be showing you the top box, Hepco and Becker, that goes with this, which I use for overnight trips and longer vacations. Nice shiny muffler. It has an oil level window here. Makes it very, well, you have to bend over or use a mirror, but you can check your oil level. This little screw here, it's got a little windshield wiper inside, so you can wipe it down. I haven't really had to use that. It's pretty easy to see the level. It's got these two marks here to monitor the level. Oil changes are very easy. Here's the fill point. Let me show you the factory Honda oil filter right here. Very easy to get a hold of. Drain plugs right underneath. Very easy access. Oil changes are very easy on this motorcycle. It has an oil cooler instead of a radiator. It's an air-cooled bike, but it has an oil cooler up front. Dual front disc brakes. There's still plenty of meat left on the brake pads. I mostly use it on country trips, so there's not a lot of stop and go travel. Again, matching front Michelin tire, less than 200 miles on it. Dual horns. May get a little windy here. I apologize if that affects the sound. Now, I state in my listings that I had a little incident in late July where I was run off the road by a mail carrier and landed in a grassy field. So it landed on this side of the bike and it slid along, and then there was a signpost it hit right here. So let me tell you what's been replaced. It's all done by a Honda dealership. We have new turn signals, new headlight, new instrument panel, which means the mileage is sort of started over on the instrument panel. So right now it says about 60 miles. When I sell the bike, I will record the actual mileage on the title. There's a box to check that in if the odometer is not reading the true mileage. We want to be honest here. Got a new brake lever, brand new mirrors. They're nice and shiny. You can probably see myself in them. Got new bar end weights. We have the all-important RLET rubber lever end thingy, which I put on myself. There's a couple of semi-amusing videos on this channel showing me trying to get these on with it. That is why I have two band-aids right here. I got a couple of blisters putting these on. But these will improve your self-esteem immensely. Also, this unit got pushed into the gas tank and made a dent, so they put a brand new gas tank on here, which means there's no belt buckle or jacket scratches on it. It's all nice and shiny and new. Let's give it a little loving wipe with our microfiber cloth. And I must say, like I said, I highly recommend crash guards on this model. This really did a good job protecting the bike. The crash guards are still in very good shape. There might be a little bit of a scratch here, but it slid on a grassy field, so it wasn't sliding on concrete or rocks or anything like that. But the bike runs perfectly. They did a very good job putting it back together. A little gunk in here. And well, you also got a brand new muffler. So it's nice and shiny, no scratches. They put a brand new brake pedal on it. These springed out of the way, so these were not damaged. It's a rear brake. Should be plenty of brake pad in there. Let's see if I can get a close up. Shocks are adjustable both on the rear and these little levers here. Let's go over the controls. Starter, hazard lights, that's a nice feature. You have your kill switch, your front brake, your clutch lever, you have your horn, you have your turn signals underneath the horn. You have your high beam, low beam, and I love this little feature here. It's a little trigger to flash your high beams when you want to pass somebody or have somebody pay attention, which they're not doing. While the bike was in the shop in August and September, I had them change the brake fluid and the clutch fluid. So that's all fresh and ready to go. I'll show you the instrument panel. You have your classic gauges here. You have your gear indicator, your trip and odometer, your fuel level, a clock, and you can rotate through the buttons here. This basically gives you, it's saying miles per gallon. It's 5.7 from rolling it up the hill here, so don't take that as a bad omen. And like I said, I put about 60 miles on it since I've got it back from the shop. And you have your miles. This is more realistic, 46.7 miles per gallon. I tend to get between 45 and 55 miles a gallon, mostly about 50. If you're going like 80 on the highway, you're going to get in the 40s, low 40s. If you're just cruising along in the country at like 50 or 60 miles an hour, you're going to get like 50, 55. Obviously, the more fun you have with the bike, the lower your gas mileage will be. So let's just put it back on. This is a 0.1 of a mile of me rolling it up and down the driveway. There you go. You have a few scratches here from if you learn the hard way not to put a lot of keys on your key ring because they'll bounce around and scratch this area here up. But all this is brand new. You have your locking gas cap here. See if we can do some more under the This could be cleaner. I'm getting a little too old to bend down and go to town on that stuff, but some people really like to detail their bikes a lot. I just keep it basically clean, keep all the bugs off of it, use a little detailer to wash all the dead bugs off of it whenever I come back from a country trip, because this bike will kill a lot of bugs. How about we give it a start? Turn the key, push the button. Give the neutral light. Turn the left turn signal. So let's do the hazards. Put it in gear for you. The bike is in gear, and you put the kickstand down, it'll kill the ignition. Little safety feature. And let's put it back in neutral. Okay, I'm going to shut up and just do some walk around on the bike. Try to hold this camera as still as I can. Sometimes these videos get a little nauseating if you're not perfectly still. And if you walk around too quickly, that can be a problem. Jay Leno likes to say he loves a bike he can see through. And you can see through this one. Some people get a little nervous about 1100 cc's, or I think it's 1149 to be exact. My previous bike was a 250 cc bike. As long as you keep the throttle below 4,000 RPM, she's very gentle, she's very easy to ride. If you want to have some fun or pass somebody in a hurry, just take it above 5,000 RPM and hang on. But once it's rolling, it's very light, very maneuverable. As one YouTube reviewer once said, this is the perfect bike to take your motorcycle driving test on. It's very easy to handle. 80 horsepower. It's not a crazy leader bike with snappy, hard to manage performance. Very manageable, classic, universal Japanese motorcycle. See if I can go in a little bit, get a little better light balance. A little dirt underneath here. I didn't clean that. And let me tell you, when you're out riding this bike and you stop for gas or fuel, everybody will ask you the same question. What year is this bike? Because it looks like a restored 60s or 70s motorcycle. You can tell them it's a 2014. Here's the VIN number if you want to read it. Have you got that? How do I get that out of the way? And after I've done some more beauty shots here, I'm going to show you the accessories that comes with the bike. Okay, one last shot, and then I'm going to show you all the accessories that come with this motorcycle. Okay, let me show you some of the accessories that come with the bike. We have a Hepco and Becker top travel case. That's a quick mount onto the rear rack. I had this imported from Germany. These are pretty expensive. Comes with 2 keys. I'll show you how this works when I put the camera on the tripod. Okay, the bike came with a windshield when I bought it. I took it off immediately. I'm not a windshield fan. It has a couple of scuffs on it. Here's all the mounting hardware for the windshield. You got your owner's manual, your Texas title. We have a receipt for all the work that's been done on it recently. We have a CD with the factory service manual. Also includes some travel photos. Show you all the adventures the bike's been on the last year. Here's some. Here's the shorter bolts, the stock bolts that were taken off when the rear rack was put on. In case you want to take the rear rack off, put these back on. We have some extra Mobil 1 motorcycle specific oil. I keep a little chart in the garage. Just shows, keeps track of my oil changes. Haven't done plugs on it, but this keeps track of the tire changes. Tires are very recent. Also keep track of all the times I've lubricated the chain. Also record the tire pressures. Ignore this side. This side's for a Vespa that I've already sold last year. And we have some extra chain wax for you. Let's put the camera on the tripod and I'll show you how the top case goes on. Okay, let me show you. The seat comes up here. Turn the key, pull on a little lever back here. The seat lifts up. You have in here a little tray above the battery, has a few tools in there. Let's take a look inside. I haven't looked inside this in a while. There we go. Some screwdrivers, Allen wrenches, a little fuse pooler. This wrench here, this comes from a CT90 I owned in college. That's a Honda factory wrench right there with the old Honda logo, 14 and 17. I might be keeping that one. I'm not sure. That's a keepsake. It's an old memory. Got some fuses underneath here. You have like a little bit of storage. Not too much. and lock it up. Let me show you how the top case goes on. Push key underneath here. Flip it open there. Got some hooks. Go to that back door. Slide it in. Pull it home, turn the key. It's on. The little straps help secure some loose items. Like I said, I've done a 2-week trip in this. I've done a 10-day trip in this and several overnight trips. A little pocket in here. Carries everything I need. Lock it up again. If you're going someplace that's a little dicey, there you go. Pop it off again. He said. Let's try that again. Oopsie. Swing it off. There we go. I had to let go. Take it off. It basically kind of hooks onto the rack here. Let's get a look at the bike with the case on here. There you go. Take a little pull back.